Greetings and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about some Sapphic books that altered my brain chemistry. In the best way. These are like my favorite books of all time. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back and happy Pride Month! I love Pride Month so much. You guys know how much I love queer romances, and I'm so excited to be filming today because we're going to be talking about some of my favorite Sapphic books of all time. Of all time. Okay, I like to say that these books altered my brain chemistry, and what I mean by that is like these are the books that made me swoon. These are the books that I'm constantly like chasing that vibe when I'm picking up romances. If someone were to ask me for Sapphic romance recommendations, this is what I would give them. I just love these books so much, and I think they're the best of the best. It is Pride Month, so of course I have to show out, and I'm going to be doing videos pretty much daily, giving recommendations and reading different queer romances, and I am so excited. You guys already know, I'm not new to this. I am true to this. Sapphic romances are quite literally my ministry and my passion as a fellow bisexual girly. I just love them so much. I have loads of videos just talking about Sapphic romances. I have a whole playlist called Sapphic Saturday that I'll link down below if you're looking for even more recommendations. That'll be linked down below. This video I'm just going to be talking about a few books though, because these are like the ones that I think are so good. Nothing can top them. They're just absolutely amazing. Above 5 stars. The best of the best of the best. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump in and get started with the recommendations. The first book I want to talk about is actually a classic, and I quite literally mean it is a classic book. I cannot do a Sapphic romance video without talking about Carmilla. This is quite literally the blueprint and an iconic piece of literature for the Sapphic community. Carmilla is the OG. She's quite literally that girl. This book was published in like I don't fucking know. 1871. Predates Dracula. It is the book that inspired Dracula, as well as so much vampiric literature and lore. In short, this is a Gothic vampire book. It follows our main character, Laura, who grows up in an isolated estate with her family. In the beginning of the book, you do kind of see that Laura has been introduced to the paranormal universe, specifically vampires. Never is it directly stated that it's vampires, but you definitely know that's what's going on. The story picks up again years later. She is a little bit lonely because she's just surrounded by her family until one day there is a carriage accident outside of her family's estate and a young woman gets injured. That is where the character Carmilla comes in, and they invite her into their home so that she can rest and heal from her injuries. But what they don't know is that they are inviting a literal monster in their home because Carmilla is a vampire. And it ends up following this addictive, obsessive, kind of terrifying relationship that Carmilla and Laura have. This is a Gothic classic, and there are moments that are very sensual and romantic, but it is not a romance, to be like very clear. This is the epitome of queer desire in my personal opinion. I just love the dynamics that these two characters have with one another. There are many Carmilla retellings, but I don't really think any can truly capture this writing style and the story that is the original work. Although it is a classic, it reads incredibly modern and is technically a novella. It's like less than 200 pages, so you can absolutely fly through it. And I think you would be surprised. Like, if you're not someone who likes classics, I think you would be surprised how much you would love this book. If you were to read it, I would recommend this edition right here. I think I got this one off of Amazon, but I've seen other booksellers sell it as well. It is the illustrated edition that is edited by Carmen Maria Machado, and it has obviously illustrations, the most stunning illustrations in it, but because it's edited, there's a lot of annotations that give you more context for the time period and also make it feel a little bit more modern. Let me show you one of my favorite ones because it's stunning. Oh, that one's terrifying. Are you kidding me? Stunning. Stunning. And history will say that they're roommates. Yeah, fucking right. This book just transcends genres for me because it is Gothic, it's horrifying, it's gory, it's romantic, it's sensual, it's lyrical, it's just all the things. All the adjectives. I really do love this book. I have a whole video where I kind of delved more into why I love this book, the history, and how it's impacted Sapphic culture, as well as some Carmilla retellings. So I will leave that video down below if you want to see my more expanded thoughts. But if you're getting into Sapphic literature in general, this is like the blueprint, it's the starting point. You have to read this one. Okay, moving forward, the next book I wanted to talk about is actually a historical romance, which I love. I wish there were even more Sapphic historical romances. I know that Adriana Herrera has some. I know Cat Sebastian has some. So there are definitely some out there, but I want more. But one of my favorites is The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Miss Olivia Waite. I love this book so much because it is sweepingly romantic. Like the type of romance that movies and songs are made out of. You know, like I just love these characters so much and I constantly recommend this book. And it truly did like alter my brain chemistry when I read this one because I was swooning. This one starts off by following our heroine Lucy, who studies astrology. For many years she has worked with her father doing different scientific discoveries and kind of being his assistant. She got into astrology because for many years she worked really closely with her father studying astrology and different scientific endeavors, and it was how they bonded. Unfortunately, in the beginning of the book, her father does pass away and she's really struggling and kind of like wants to continue the work that they did together. So she ends up writing a letter to one of her father's benefactors to see if she can get some assistance. And that is how our other heroine comes into the story. Our other heroine is a widow and she has a lot of money and a lot of influence in the scientific community because her ex-husband was a scientist as well. She ends up inviting our heroine Lucy to stay at her house so that she can like introduce her into society, and the two of them end up falling for each other. If the lighting keeps changing, my ring light keeps dying because I forgot to charge it and my battery was dying too because I'm a mess. But anyways, this book has all of the quintessential tropes that I absolutely adore. It has a little bit of an age gap. Obviously, the relationship is a little bit taboo because they're a queer couple in a historical time period, so that's rough. And then it's just sweepingly romantic. I absolutely love it. It's such a good audiobook, such a good start to the series. This is a series, by the way, with other Sapphic romances, but you can read them as standalones. They very loosely connect. Again, it gives that vibe of like history will say that they're roommates. And I just love the queer desire and the romance and the writing and just women in STEM, like come on, it's so good. Alright, so the next book that I'm going to recommend altered my brain chemistry in a different way, more so like melted my brain chemistry because it's so freaking hot, and that is Being Hers by Anna Stone. This was like the first Sapphic romance book that I read that was like hot, steamy, sexy, all of the fucking chili peppers. Like it is so good. If you're not familiar with Anna Stone, she predominantly writes on Kindle Limited, mainly Sapphic romances. She has some poly romances as well. A lot of her books are darker romances that feature BDSM relationships, and they're just so sexy. The thing I noticed like when I first started reading romance and was picking up Sapphic romances, not that this is a bad thing, but what I was personally noticing is a lot of them were like very cutesy, very adorable, very like illustrated covers and closed door and rom-com, which has a place, has a moment, and is fine for people who want that. But like there were times where I was like, I want something sexy. I want a Sapphic romance that's fucking sexy and not closed door. This definitely gave it to me and was one of the first Sapphic romances that I picked up that was like hot. And I love it so much. So this one follows our heroine who works at a bar, and one night she's working and she has this like really intense connection with a woman across the room. Cannot keep their eyes off of each other, and it turns out that that woman is actually the owner of the bar and her boss. So a little bit of an age gap taboo relationship kind of going on there. But again, they cannot stay away from each other, so they end up entering into a very steamy situationship. Older heroine in this book is a dom and very well versed in the BDSM world, and she ends up teaching our other heroine all of the different dynamics of that type of relationship. If you are new to like BDSM dynamics and have never read a book with that type of romance, I think this one is like the perfect one to start with because Anna Stone is so good at describing that type of relationship. It's informative without feeling boring, and also sexy as all get out. So I think she's perfect. I love Anna Stone. There's so many books that I can recommend by her because she has tons on Kindle Limited, but this was the first one that I read by her and still remains my favorite. I always recommend this book. I talk about her all the time, but that's because like I just think she's fucking phenomenal. Alright, the next book I want to recommend is another book that I have talked about endlessly, and that is Serpentine Valentine by Gianna Darling. This is one of the best romances I've ever read. Like, definitely in my top 5 favorite books of all time. It is a Sapphic dark academia romance with a Medusa retelling and a revenge plot. It is pretty dark, so like make sure to read the trigger warnings. It's dark, it's intense, but it's written with like so much care and love that I think it's done so well. The book starts off by following our heroine Lex, who ends up getting assaulted by someone that she really trusted, her college professor, and she's essentially like left to die in the woods of her university. And when she comes forward about her story, nobody believes her. In fact, the college actually decides to cover it up, which is even more heartbreaking because the president of the university was our heroine's mentor. So she feels even more betrayed, and she ends up coming back the next semester with a vengeance. She wants revenge against the man that hurt her, but also revenge against the entire institution that covered it up. And that is where like the revenge plot kind of comes into play, because she ends up seducing the president of the university's daughter. Our heroine Luna ends up becoming completely entranced with Lex, and the two of them form a romance. This is another book that has all of the tropes that I absolutely love. I love that it's a Medusa retelling. The writing itself is so lyrical. It has references to Greek mythology, classic literature, but also like pop culture references. If you are a classic lit girly, you will absolutely love this book and the writing style and all the references. This also has a bisexual awakening trope, which is literally my favorite trope ever. Has a very like revenge girl power feel to it. I just love this book. What really makes this book so special to me is just the description of like the general queer experience. It was something that I really resonated with, and I felt like really seen in this book. I did a reading vlog where I read it for the first time last year, I think is when it came out, and when I tell you I was bawling my fucking eyes out, like I was boo-hoo crying, and it just goes to show like how truly important representation is. Like, representation really does matter. This is really why I'm like so passionate about sapphic romances, to be honest, because as a queer girly, bisexual girly, to be able to resonate with a book and feel seen and like see myself in a character is truly so special, because it wasn't necessarily something that I had growing up with the books that I was personally exposed to in reading. So I just treasure all of the books that I mentioned in this video, but especially this one, because I feel like this one, the way it described like the bi experience, the queer experience, although not everyone has the same experience, it would just, it hit me in my feels. So I love that book. It's so special. I've reread it like 4 times, even though it literally just came out like a year and a half ago. So those are all of my favorite sapphic romances, ones that truly altered my brain chemistry, ones that I just think have the best representation, have impacted the sapphic community in the best of ways, and I just love them so much. So if you haven't had the chance to read any of them, I highly recommend picking them up. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you stayed this long and you enjoyed this video, leave me an emoji. Leave me, I don't even know, what emoji should you leave me? Leave me like the 2 girls like dancing. You know what emoji I'm talking about? Please tell me you know. I love those girls. They're getting it. So leave that emoji down below if you have stayed this long and enjoyed this video, so I know that we're bookish besties. I have so many more videos planned for Pride Month. I really want to post like a video every day. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off, but you'll be seeing my face a lot because it's Pride Month, bitches. So I hope to see you soon. I love you guys so much. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the absolute world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Love you! Oh, and leave all of your favorite sapphic romances down below. Or sapphic books in general. They don't have to be romances. Leave them down below so that I can read them, and yeah, that's it. I just want to read more gay shit. So leave all your favorites down below.